If I was an evil overlord, I would definitely want the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid to be my evil base. Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank. I'm that you are having a great day, and in today's video, there we go, that was a much better clap. In today's video, I'm going to be sitting back in a not, it does not squeak at all. This chair is non-squeaky, but I will be sitting in it, relaxing, and having a little conversation with all of you about Secret Lairs and whether or not they really are as bad as some people say. And if you are not a Magic the Gathering fan, you might not be aware, but Secret Lairs are a direct-to-consumer product produced by Wizards of the Coast since... when did they start? 2020? No. Yes? 2021? I don't know. It's been a few years now since Secret Lairs have come out. And I feel like it's been way too long. I always associate Secret Lair with the advent of collector booster boxes, and I know that that's not entirely correct. But they've been around for a while. Secret Lairs, as they were initially advertised, are a direct-to-consumer product. They are a small bundle of a handful of cards, originally given in this really nice kind of presentation box. A like solid black box, folds out, has all your cards stacked nicely in the middle. But now they're just kind of in an envelope, a really, really bad envelope. But that's not the point. Ever since their inception, Secret Lairs were initially advertised as a direct-to-consumer reprint of cards that allow Wizards of the Coast to get these kind of wacky, unique arts out there to Magic the Gathering fans that Wizards couldn't otherwise put into regular Magic sets. Not even a full year after they are implemented, Secret Lairs quickly became not that, because in addition to being the art reprints, Secret Lair became the vehicle through which Wizards has tested a lot of interesting decisions, the most important one for this video being Universes Beyond. That's right, the first Universes Beyond product was through Secret Lairs with the Walking Dead Secret Lair, giving us mechanically unique cards rather than reprints. Mechanically unique cards that you could only purchase directly through Wizards of the Coast. Which, in addition to Secret Lairs causing some hiccups and some outrage when they first dropped, that Universes Beyond Walking Dead Secret Lair drop, that caused some stirs in the community. Not just because it was mechanically unique cards through a direct-only program, but because of the introduction of Universes Beyond and non-Magic characters being on Magic cards. It was quite the stir at the time. And while there has definitely been a decrease in the number of people loudly screaming about Secret Lairs in recent years, I'd like to point out that there are still people out there who are quite upset at this product line in general and are convinced that it's one of the worst things to happen to Magic the Gathering. And in this video, I just want to talk about how bad they really are or are not, and just kind of give you guys my opinion on them. For what they are, most, not all, there's a new one, in fact, that came out today or yesterday, that is like super expensive. Most Secret Lairs are around $30 to $50. They have a handful of cards reprinted with some wacky art usually. Not all of it's great. I have seen some Secret Lair arts that I'm downright offended by just because of how bad it is. But for the most part, it's just wacky art, right? And the cards inside, even though Wizards of the Coast does not officially eyeball the secondary market, you'll notice when you're looking at these Secret Lairs that a lot of the times their box prices align really nicely with the secondary market prices of the cards inside them. So these are an interesting reprint product, despite, again, Wizards claiming, or I don't think they've actually claimed it. I think it's more of a, people just know that Wizards can't openly acknowledge that they monitor the secondary market, because they do. There's definitely people at the company who keep a very close eye on what cards are worth. Because, hey, if a card gets too expensive, it's definitely getting a reprint, especially if it's a modern card. Reserve list, not so much, but I'm getting off track. I'm getting off track. I know I was going to do this. I knew I was going to do this today. Gotta stay on. Gotta stay focused. There have been loads of Secret Lairs over the years since it was introduced. In fact, it feels like there's a new one all the time. In fact, part of the product glut that Wizards of the Coast is facing is the sheer volume of Secret Lairs that get released. It feels like there's like one every 2 or 3 weeks nowadays. A super special mega super drop for Secret Lairs that has a bunch of bundles in it with a bunch of cards reprinted at a huge price. And again, we have things like this. I think it's called an encyclopedia, where it's like $200 for 26 cards. I don't know about you, but if I'm paying $200 for 26 cards, there better be a dual land in there. That's all I want to say. Anyway, let's talk more about the focus of the video. Let's get back on point, and that is, are Secret Lairs actually that bad? And to understand why people think Secret Lairs might be a bad thing, the biggest the biggest cruxes of their argument is that Secret Lairs are a direct-to-consumer product that circumvents game stores and kind of cuts the local scene out of the financial equation when it comes to Magic the Gathering. And to that angle, I do not believe Secret Lairs are inherently bad just because they are a direct-to-consumer product. Plenty of other companies do direct-to-consumer products without harming their business. Bandai Namco does it all the time with specialty sets from the Bandai Namco store, for instance. Yu-Gi-Oh! Occasionally does direct-to-consumer promo cards. Oh yeah, there's another game that's like super popular, and they do direct-to-consumer all the time, and it does not really harm the success of the game. What was it called? Pokemon? Digimon. No, it was Pokemon. Pokemon does it all the time. There's literally every set from Pokemon has a direct-to-consumer option. Not for very long, mind you. Direct-to-consumer Pokemon products through the Pokemon Center have not been easy to get a hold of for a while, but they do it. So just pointing that out there, direct-to-consumer does exist for other card games, and by and large, just having direct-to-consumer products does not harm local game stores, nor does it damage the game in any meaningful way. What I do think is a bit weird is that direct-to-consumer products without having a wide availability alternative, I do think that's wrong. Wizards of the Coast has known since the 90s that exclusive cards you can only get through some means other than the booster boxes, packs themselves. They've known since the earliest days of Magic the Gathering that that is a bad idea when it came to Nalathni Dragon. Nalathni Dragon, for those of you who don't know, it was one of the earliest promo cards for Magic the Gathering. It was only available for 2 days at a event in 1994 called Dragon Con. Attendees would get it. And Magic the Gathering fans, once they found out about this, once it was made relatively public that there was a promo card you could only get at this convention for 2 days, and it wasn't even widely advertised, they threw a fit, and Wizards of the Coast had to mass re-release this card as a promo in a magazine. And then they told themselves, like, we're not going to do that again. And then they proceeded to do it again, because Secret Lairs have mechanically unique promotional cards you can only get directly through Wizards of the Coast. Oh, they also did it again with the Buy a Box program, although I don't think that is as egregious. Buy a Box programs used to have exclusive cards you can only get for buying a box directly from a store in the that was in the program. Wizards Play Network, something like that. People did throw a fit about that, but they got over it. Definitely the mechanically unique cards through Secret Lair are a bit more noteworthy because some of them are really good. You know, we've again the Walking Dead Secret Lairs, the Lara Croft cards. Oh yeah, there's a whole PlayStation bundle with a bunch of PlayStation characters getting their own unique cards, and so far they're only available through Secret Lair. And that does have rubbed some people the wrong way because, again, that does feel kind of scummy. It does kind of feel wrong. But is it a bad thing and is it hurting the game? The answer, I think, is no. And I want to be very clear. I'm a very strong proponent for accessibility to to any game, really. I do think it's in a company's best interest to make their game as readily available to as many players as possible. But I'm also a very firm proponent and defender of collectability in your game and rarity in your game, even for newer releases. Even if I think Secret Lairs are not the best implementation of rare collectibles, because these are collectibles. These are for fans of, what's one of them? God of War, I think. I think there's a God of War Secret Lair. So like a fan of God of War, for instance, might want to pick up the God of War Secret Lair just to have the Kratos card where he is ripping monsters apart, but hopefully not the Kratos card where he is being sad in Viking Land. I'm not a fan of those games. So overall, I think Secret Lairs, as they are on the surface, I don't think they're that bad. I think they are contentious. I think they are not always the best implemented, and I definitely don't think that they have the best priced. Especially when it comes to certain Secret Lairs, like the $200 one, and I'm just like, holy crap, no. But for the most part, I think Secret Lairs are, how do I word this carefully? As a concept and as implemented, Secret Lairs are not as bad as people think, and they are not going to necessarily lead to the death of Magic the Gathering or the local game store. There. That is the full crux of this video, and I just want to point out there that I do not think local game stores are harmed necessarily by not having access to certain products. I think they're harmed when they don't have access to the regular products. I don't think a specialty product that only a handful of players are going to be interested in, especially some of those really ugly art ones. Like, I don't think any local game store is hurting because they couldn't get a hold of some CalArts looking mess of a pack that absolutely nobody wants, right? No one's getting hurt of that. I think it is a bigger concern if stores can't get a hold of regular products. And for the most part, booster boxes have been available to stores for a while now. Wizards has been more or less good about that, at the very least for the initial waves. Yes, I know that Bloomborough, for instance, was for a bit super duper hard to get a hold of. I know the collector box situation, not every store gets an equal amount, I know. But for the most part, Secret Lairs are not harming local game stores just by existing. They are simply giving players and collectors and investors an alternate means of getting a hold of some shiny cardboard for an upcharge. Let's face it, it is an upcharge. It's usually 4 or 5 cards per layer, and they are not priced at a point where I think 4 or 5 cards should be priced at. Let's just put that into consideration there. But that's my opinion. So overall, are Secret Lairs bad? Not usually. Are Secret Lairs good? Remains to be seen. I don't think they're bad. I don't necessarily think that they're good. Full disclosure, I have huge anti-Wizards of the Coast biases, so it's difficult for me to acknowledge anything they do is good these days, but at the very least, I don't think Secret Lairs are even close to being the worst thing that they have done in recent years. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for joining me on this little bookshelf chat. I should do a review of one of these. Lorwyn's coming up. I should review Lorwyn. Let me know in the comment section if you guys want me to review the Lorwyn book on the channel. I actually really like this one quite a lot. That character is not in the book. I have no idea who that is. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.